morning, and welcome to the Tune Tapestry, the show where we tug at the threads of traditional and classical music from around the world and discover the surprising connections between them. Morning and welcome to the Tune Tapestry here on 5EBI 103.1 FM Adelaide's multicultural broadcaster with me, Rachel Hay. And the Tune Tapestry is the show where we look at the connections between traditional and classical musics from around the world. But it's Australia Day tomorrow, so let's look at the development of Australian traditional music or Australian bush music. But we'll start with a little bit of Irish music, and I will explain this later, although you can probably work it out, because obviously early colonial Australia had a lot of people from the British Isles, Scotland, England, Cornwall and Ireland. I presume from Wales as well, but you never hear much of them and their music doesn't seem to have made much of an impact, so the Welsh are quiet, I guess, and it would have been nice if we could have more great four-part harmony singing in the Australian musical tradition, but I guess we don't. Anyway, here's a bit of Irish music. It's Gaelic Storm playing the Hills of Connemara, and bonus points that are useless bonus points, but bonus points nevertheless to people who can guess what I'm about to say about it with regards to Australian music. And just a reminder, this is a pre-recorded program, so you can't ring into the studio and tell me what you've worked out. You can just, feel smug by yourself, or text my mother who's listening and probably working out herself. So anyway, here's Gaelic Storm with the Hills of Connemara.
Pots in the old tin can, the mash in the corn, the barley in the bran, the run like a devil from the excise man, keep the smoke from raisin barley. Don't keep your eyes well peeled today, the tall men they're on their way, they're searching for the mountain day in the hills of Connemara. Gather up the pots in the old tin can, the mash in the corn, the barley in the bran, run like a devil from the excise man, keep the smoke from raisin barley. pitcher and a quart for Tom, and a bottle for the poor old Father Tom, to help the poor old dear along in the hills of Connemara. Gather up the pots and the old tin can, the mash and the corn, the barley and the bran. Run like an ever from the excise man, keep the smoke from raising barley. To the left, no swing to the right, so the excise man can dance all night. He's juggling the tail to the broad daylight in the hills of Connemara. Gather up the pots and the old tin can, the mash and the corn, the barley and the bran. Run like a ever from the excise man, keep the smoke from raising barley. Stand your ground and don't you fall, the excise men they're at the wall. Jesus Christ, they've taken it all in the hills of Connemara. Gather up the pots in the old tin can, the mash and the corn, the barley and the bran. Run like a devil from the excise man, keep the smoke from raising barley. Gather up the pots in the old tin can, the mash and the corn, the barley and the bran. Run like a devil from the excise man, keep the smoke from raising barley.
So, it's Australia Day tomorrow, and we're talking about Australian traditional or bush music. So I'll talk about that for a bit. Actually, I'm going to talk about a town called Quambatook. Quambatook is in northern Victoria, and there are, in my opinion, two interesting things about Quambatook. The first is that it's near another town called Sea Lake, which is where my mother was born and where my grandparents lived for a number of years. And therefore, my grandfather, who was the Anglican parish priest in the town, used to go and teach religious education in the nearby towns, including Quambatook, which is where he met and taught a young boy, and this is the second interesting thing about Quambatook, by the name of John Williamson, who some of you may know as an Australian country singer. He writes music, writes Australian songs. And I grew up listening to John Williamson singing these Australian songs, which is why, going back now to Gaelic Storm and the Hills of Connemara, when I first heard the Hills of Connemara, who I first thought was, that's the tune of Old Man Emu. So, to that end, let's listen to John Williamson singing Old Man Emu.
Let me tell you of an interview with an old man emu. He's got a beak and feathers and things, but the poor old fella ain't got no wings. Aren't you jealous of the wedge-tailed eagle? And battle-it-da-da-da, while the eagle's flying round and round to keep it 2 feet firmly on the ground. Now, I can't fly, but I'm telling you, I can run the pants of a kangaroo. But he can't fly, but I'm telling you, we can run the pants of a kangaroo. Was the model for the 50 cents. Da-da-da-da. The designer should have had more sense. Da-da-da-da. If you take a look, it'll prove to you. I ran the pants of that kangaroo. Take a look, it'll prove to you. You ran the pants of the kangaroo. You got loop-the-loo like a cockatoo. Da-da-da-da. Swoop and toss like an albatross. Da-da-da-da. You silly galah, I better by far than a white cockatoo or a budgerigar. They squeak and squawk and try to talk. Why, me and them's like cheese and chalk. But you can't fly, but I'm telling you, we can run the pants of a kangaroo. Well, the last time I saw old man, he knew da-da-da-da. He was chasing a female he knew da-da-da-da. As he shot past, I heard him say, she can't fly, but I'm telling you, she could run the pants of a kangaroo. But she can't fly, but I'm telling you, she could run the pants of a kangaroo. Well, there is a moral to this ditty, da-da-da-da-da. Thrush can sing, but he ain't pretty, da-da-da-da-da. Duck can swim, but he can't sing, nor can the eagle on the wing. He can't fly, but I'm telling you, he can run the pants of a kangaroo. Well, the kookaburra laughed and he said it's true, da-da-da-da-da. We can run the pants of a kangaroo.
What do you think? Same tune as The Hills of Connemara? Different tune? Inspired by? Most of John Williamson's music, he has said that he tries not to listen to other country singers, and he prefers to listen to sounds of nature. So a lot of his music has like sort of animal sounds to it. There are some about like galahs where he sounds almost like galah noises. So I don't think he would have intentionally used the tune, but a lot of Irish music made its way into Australian traditional music, so he probably heard it growing up. I just found it interesting that those two tunes are similar. And we're going to be talking about similar tunes, but first we'll listen to a bit of the Bushwhackers. Now, I do have a funny anecdote about the Bushwhackers, which is that I went to the National Celtic Festival. I've been to the National Celtic Festival a lot, but the first time I went was 2017, I think. So I went there near Geelong, and the Bushwhackers were playing. Now, I grew up hearing a lot of the Bushwhackers, playing music from the Bushwhackers. They have a bush dance songbook that we play from for the Adelaide Hills Homeschoolers Bush Dance, listening to the Bushwhackers, and I knew that they were active in like the 60s and 70s, so I thought they were like possibly all dead, and they were playing at the National Celtic Festival, and I saw them and I'm like, how are they still alive? Are they what? And so I went and listened to them, and they are indeed still playing gigs. But anyway, here's the Bushwhackers with a tale you all know well, The Overlander.
There's a trade you all know well, it's bringing the cattle over. Now listen while I tell to you how I became a drover. I wanted stock for Queensland, to Kempsey I did wander. Bought 1,000 cattle there and then turned overlander. Pass the bottle round, boys, don't you leave it stand there. For tonight we'll drink the health of every overlander. When the cattle were counted and the outfit ready to start, I saw the boys all gathered there with their swags thrown in the cart. All kinds of men I had, two from France and Spain and Flanders, lawyers, doctors, good and bad, in the mob of overlanders. Pass the bottle round, boys, don't you leave it stand there, for tonight we'll drink the health of every overlander. And from the track I then spread out where the grass was green and young, when the squatter with the curse and shout told me to move along. I said, come join my old man and don't you raise me dander, for I'm a regular known card of Queensland overlander. Pass the bottle round, boys, don't you leave it stand there, for tonight we'll drink the health of every overlander. It's true we pay no licence. Our run is rather large, 'tis not often they can catch us, so they cannot make a charge. They say we live on store beef, but no, I'm not a gander. If a good fat straggler joins the mob, he does the overlander. Pass the bottle round, boys, and let's not leave it stand there, for tonight we'll drink the health of every overlander. And if our horses get knocked up, of course we turn them free, and then a cove won't walk in over sweater he can see. Stray workers too we bone, I say it is no slander to say there's many a clever trick pulled by an overlander. Pass the bottle round, boys, don't you leave it stand there, for tonight we'll drink the health of every overlander. I would scorn to prig a shirt, all me mates can say, but if we pass a township upon a washing day, the dirty brats of kids would shout and quickly raise me down to cry, another dear, take in your clothes, here comes the overlander. So pass the bottle round, boys, and don't you leave it stand there, for tonight we'll drink the health of every overlander. In town we dress ourselves up and we go and see a play. We never think of being hard up or how to spend a day. We stare up to the pretty girls that dress themselves in grandeur, and while they sweat our checks they swear they love the overlander. Pass the bottle round, boys, don't you leave it stand there, for tonight we'll drink the health of every overlander. Pass the bottle round, boys, don't you leave it stand there, for tonight we'll drink the health of every overlander.
So that was the Overlander, about droving cattle across Queensland mostly, and I could play you songs about droving cattle across Scotland, but I've got a different connection to Scotland with this song. Because I used to teach Gaelic traditional songs on Zoom, mostly to Australians. I had a few people from outside Australia, but I was mostly Australians. And there was one I was teaching once, about a guy going on this epic journey to buy whiskey for New Year's, called Tyres and Lochmore. And I was teaching it, ready for New Year's. And it was bothering several of us that the tune was so familiar to us from something Australian, and we couldn't work out what it was. It's not as near, I don't think, as Old Man Emu in the Hills of Connemara, but I've come to the conclusion that the tune resembles the Overlanders. So, there's a tale you all know well, spring cattle over, now listen while I tell you how I became a drover, versus Ní a bhana mín sin go dhéisrí gaibh an rám, go following onion sheetja is stripped o here an gal, it's bagawan je fialcan is rotten of a gal, he be eplin Orion, I can't remember all the words, but anyway, those are the two tunes, and here's Julie Fowler singing Tyres son Lochmore. We'll see if you think it sounds like the Overlanders that you've just heard.
Ní bhana mín sin go níos mi gaibh an rám, go fáin ganin siide it's scríb o híomh na gá, le bagawan de chearcan is rutan a bheith gá, sgan bíon ag blinúdam, sgan chúna éad an drám. De ciatain galab mi casrús le má bhaci chearn am gón, a dóhaloch na madu gar asig sa Lochmore, a fruach na machasnse, sfasneach gyd warn alone, chadiach an ich min dalde ban chofatse vis mit bew. Muranig mi ich erstug, arstug dun ich hof, a hoeke stuik en dal mi, se noch go karstje smoot, hoek got hi a bjerstje miri a was stof, go she sin fuach murgach, she le mach asjers plas le fof. But dollar lanes naar nei horgan door, washing grish in kerse weg, op blasat er stu kruai, kundan ik ben Ashe, Smutjawara, Worst, is Hanning Hink, Pamatan, Eragin, Kithuan. Nu hoppie mag, go fashion ja, Shinjar, still loch the sea. Snur Hoshi Kurna Mara Orn, Bava, Alvi, Echi, Bamishe Marfaka, the Sparnyar on the street. Some dramagal, me Hersevert, but Dully Yali Sheen. On Yeri Svai, shade your arm, go off the Gianna Bear. Washing you Lord, Peter Gain, or she may give a lot. The day she is gonna flashy lane, smooth the sky, your arch. Bakura make a fucking Nachidi Capra. Ach ran ik sin loch bustel, le Gian die is arst. Boek me leeuw ma wakkichen, is haar mi asserat. Gaan aan een zin a patintje, get er ach in je rente gerst. Hoe het mi kattel zachter aan het dag I gun je koos. Ik mash at geruot ma gragare, or nog die karstjes gos. Gumme fatte slani, or spajali na toy. Galleroon, andere nog gegaten gelocht moe. En diach niet meer en door en schalke niet meer geven door. En maar doch heel me gachi agus pochtel na me vol. Kring ik schien na karsten, gepacht die ek ach schors. Is tara hune hanekling, ach aan je gelocht moe.
Was Taras and Lochmore, The Journey Across the Big Lake, sung by Julie Fowlers, which, in my opinion, shares a very similar tune with The Overlander, a traditional Australian song. Taras and Lochmore is a traditional Scottish song. It's in Scottish Gaelic. So we're going to listen to another Scottish song now, which is The Bonny Wood of Craigielee, sung by Raymond Crook. And the connection that I will be telling you about after we've listened to it is, for once, not just my wild speculation, but it's a fairly well-known and accepted origin story of the Australian song. So have a close listen and see if you can work out which Australian song has a tune that developed from this traditional Lowland Scots song, The Bonny Woods of Craigielee.
The bonny wood of Craigielee, the bonny wood of Craigielee. Near thee I passed life's early day, and won my Mary's hair in thee. The broom, the briar, the birken bush, bloom bonny o'er thy flowery lea, and all the sweets that ane can wish frae nature's hand are strewed on thee. The bonny wood of Craigielee, the bonny wood of Craigielee. Near thee I passed life's early day, and won my Mary's heart in thee. Far bend thy dark green plant in shade, the cushat crudles amorously, the mavis doon thy buchted glade, ga's echo ring frae every tree. The bonny wood o Craigielee, the bonny wood o Craigielee. Near thee I passed life's early day, and won my Mary's heart in thee. Oh, wah, ye thoughtless murdering gang, what tear the nestlings frae the tree? They'll sing ye yet a canty sang, then oh, in pity let them be. Thou bonny wood o Craigielee, thou bonny wood o Craigielee, near thee I passed life's early day, and won my Mary's heart in thee. When winter blows in sleety showers, frae off the Northern hills say he lichtly skiffs thy bonny bars as late to herm a floor in thee. Thou bonny wood o Craigielee, thou bonny wood o Craigielee, near thee I passed life's early day, and won my Mary's heart in thee. Though fate should drag me south the line, or o'er the wide Atlantic sea, the happy years I'll ever mind that I in youth hae spent in thee. Thou bonny wood o Craigielee, thou bonny wood o Craigielee, near thee I passed life's early day, and won my Mary's heart in thee.
So there's really no prizes for guessing that that's the tune, the Bonny Wood of Craigielee, that became Waltzing Matilda. But let's hear the story behind how that happened. So Banjo Paterson, who wrote Waltzing Matilda and a bunch of other great bush ballads like Clancy the Overflow, The Man from Stowy River, and A Bush Christening. Honestly, go and learn more Banjo Paterson poems because they're all great, and only like 3 of them are in common circulation. Anyway, he was visiting a station, I'm not sure where, somewhere in the outback, owned by the Macpherson family. And the owner of the station, whose name I can't remember other than his surname Macpherson, told him this story about how he'd gone down one day to the Billabong and found a swagman there stealing a sheep. And the swagman jumped into the Billabong and drowned himself. Which, you know, if you've ever listened to the lyrics of Waltzing Matilda, you'll recognise that story and probably wonder why people want it to be a national anthem. But nevertheless, he was told this story as part of like the evening's entertainment with the family, and the man's daughter, who has the name of Christina Macpherson, she had played a tune on the piano, I believe, as entertainment, and it stuck in his head, and that was the tune that was in his head when he was writing the words for Waltzing Matilda. Now, Macpherson, as you might have noticed, is a Scottish surname, and it was a Scottish tune, the Bonny Wood of Craigielee, that she played, that stuck in Banjo Paterson's head as he wrote Waltzing Matilda. So let's listen to Slim Dusty singing Waltzing Matilda now.
Once a jolly swagman camped by a billabong under the shade of a coolabah tree. He sang as he watched and waited till his billy boiled. You'll come a waltzing Matilda with me. Waltzing Matilda, you'll come a waltzing Matilda with me. He sang as he watched and waited till his billy boiled. You'll come a waltzing Matilda with me. Down came a jumbuck to drink at the billabong. Up jumped the swagman and grabbed him with glee. he sang as he shoved that jumbuck in his tucker bag. You'll come a waltzing Matilda with me. Waltzing Matilda, waltzing Matilda, you'll come a waltzing Matilda with me. He sang as he shoved that jumbuck in his tucker bag. You'll come a waltzing Matilda with me. Up rode the squatter, mounted on his thoroughbred. Up rode the troopers, 1, 2, 3. With the jolly jumbuck that you got in your tucker bag, you'll come a waltzing Matilda with me. Waltzing Matilda, waltzing Matilda, you'll come a waltzing Matilda with me. With the jolly jumbuck that you got in your tucker bag, you'll come a waltzing, you scoundrel, with me. Up jumped the swagman, sprang into the billabong. You'll never take me alive, said he, and his ghost may be heard as you pass by that billabong. You'll come a waltzing Matilda with me. Waltzing Matilda, waltzing Matilda, you'll come a waltzing Matilda with me. His ghost may be heard as you pass by that billabong. You'll come a waltzing Matilda with everybody. Waltzing Matilda, waltzing Matilda, you'll come a waltzing Matilda with me. His ghost may be heard as you pass by that billabong. You'll come a waltzing Matilda with me. You'll come a waltzing Matilda with me.
You are listening to the Tune Tapestry here at 5EBI 103.1 FM, Adelaide's multicultural broadcasting station, with me, Rachel Hay, where I look at the connections between traditional musics from around the world. It's Australia Day tomorrow, so we're talking about Australian traditional music, and that was Slim Dusty singing Waltzing Matilda, a tune based on the traditional Scottish tune, The Bonny Wood of Craigielee. So while we're listening to Waltzing Matilda, it would be remiss of me not to include the wonderful Ali Mills singing the amazing Waltzing Matilda, which is in Creole, which I believe is the second most widely spoken language in Australia after English. It's spoken across a huge area of the Northern Territory and Queensland, and probably also Western Australia, South Australia. Anyway, it's very widely spoken new Indigenous language, a post-colonial Indigenous language. It is Australian-based Creole language. And this is Waltzing Matilda sang in that language, Waltzing Matilda. Creole is interesting because a lot of English speakers will hear it and think that they can understand it. And they can't really, because most of it's what we call English lexified. So a lot of the vocabulary is English, but the grammar is the same as or very close to the grammar of the Indigenous languages of that area. So they've got cases for days, which English doesn't really do, grammatical cases anymore. So a lot of things that in English we think are prepositions are actually case markers, like langa, coolabah tree, langa daka bag, and so on, which you'll hear in the song, are case markers rather than prepositions. So they've been used in different ways to along, which I think is where the word it comes from in English. So anyway, here's Ali Mills singing Waltzing Matilda.
One, two, three.
One ball of cardia and come up lang a billabong. Immented on a ground lang a cooler battery. Immenting on back property. Watch him but him millie bo. You balagam man, watch him but Matilda lang a me. Watch him but Matilda, watch him but Matilda.
it's still about a homeless guy who kills himself by jumping in a billabong to avoid having to own up to stealing a sheep, but that version of Waltzing Matilda always puts a smile on my face. So I suppose it's appropriate then to go to a version of Waltzing Matilda, or rather a second generation child of Waltzing Matilda, that really doesn't put a smile on your face. It's Eric Bogle. Not that he's what doesn't put a smile on your face, but he lives in Adelaide. He's the patron of Scottish radio here at 5EBI, and he wrote a song called And the Band Played Waltzing Matilda, which I think is better heard than explained by me.
Now when I was a young man, I carried me pack, and I lived the free life on the Rover. From the Murray's green basin to the dusty outback, well, I waltzed my Matilda all over. Then in 1915, my country said, son, it's time you stop rambling, there's work to be done. So they gave me a tin hat and they gave me a gun, and they marched me away to the war. And the band played Waltzing Matilda as the ship pulled away from the quay. And amidst all the cheers, the flag waving and tears, we sailed off for Gallipoli. And how well I remember that terrible day, how our blood stained the sand and the water, and of how in that hell that they called Suvla Bay, we were butchered like lambs at the slaughter. Johnny Turk, he was waiting, he'd primed himself well. He showered us with bullets and he rained us with shell, and in 5 minutes flat he'd blown us all to hell. Nearly blew us right back to Australia. But the band played Waltzing Matilda when we stopped to bury our slain. We buried ours and the Turks buried theirs. Then we started all over again. And those that were left, well, we tried to survive in that mad world of blood, death and fire. And for 10 weary weeks I kept myself alive, though around me the corpses piled higher. Then a big Turkish shell knocked me arse overhead, and when I woke up in me hospital bed and saw what it had done, well, I wished I was dead. Never knew there was worse things than dying. For I'll go no more waltzing Matilda all around the green bush far and free. To hum tent and pegs, a man needs both legs. No more waltzing Matilda for me. So they gathered the crippled, the wounded, the maimed, and they shipped us back home to Australia. The legless, the armless, the blind, the insane, those proud wounded heroes of Suvla. And as our ship pulled into Circular Quay, I looked at the place where me legs used to be, and thank Christ there was nobody waiting for me to grieve, to mourn and to pity. But the band played Waltzing Matilda as they carried us down the gangway, but nobody cheered, they just stood and stared. Then they turned all their faces away. And so now, every April, I sit on me porch and I watch the parade pass before me, and I see my old comrades, how proudly they march, reviving old dreams of past glories. And the old men march slowly, all bones stiff and sore, they're tired old heroes from a forgotten war. And the young people ask, what are they marching for? And I ask myself the same question. But the band plays Waltzing Matilda, and the old men still answer the call. But as year follows year, more old men disappear. Someday no one will march there at all. Waltzing Matilda, waltzing Matilda, who'll come a waltzing Matilda with me? And their ghosts may be heard as they march by that billabong. Who'll come a waltzing Matilda with me?
Australian history's miserable, isn't it? Like, it starts that way, colonial Australia. You know, it's just a bunch of poor Londoners and political prisoners from Ireland and Scotland being rounded up to be essentially slaves, dumped on the other side of the world to invade a continent with people already on it. Which is a terrible way, I would say, of looking at Australia, but fairly true nevertheless, and something we shouldn't forget on Australia Day. And I'm rambling here, slightly off topic, but the next song we're going to listen to is Botany Bay, which is about the First Fleet. But I'm talking on this show about the connections between Australian traditional music back to the parent traditions of Australian bush music, which are mostly from the British Isles. I've spent a lot of time talking about Ireland and particularly Scotland because these are the music traditions I know best, but obviously a lot of people from England and especially London came to Australia, affected our accent. Obviously, the Australian accent is far more Southern England, far more London than it is Scottish or Irish, but also affected the music and affected the dancing. One of the most common Australian bush dances is the heel and toe polka, which involves clapping, which isn't something you get in Scottish and Irish dancing. It's something you get in English traditional dancing styles. So here's a song that is, to my ear, and I'm not an expert on English traditional music by any stretch, but to my ear this is something that, it's a song that sounds like traditional London Cockney sort of like music, is Botany Bay. And to me, like, it's the Turalay Uralay, to be quite honest. It's the Turalay Uralay that sounds Londonish to me. Anyway, here is Botany Bay, sung by Bruce McGuinness.
Farewell to old England forever.
Farewell to my rum culls as well. Farewell to the well-known Old Bailey, where I used for to cut such a swell, singing tooralai, ooralai, adity, singing tooralai, ooralai, eh, singing tooralai, ooralai, adity, and we're bound for Botany Bay. There's the captain as is our commander, there's the boatswain and all the ship's crew, there's the first and the second class passengers, knows what we poor convicts go through, singing tooralai, ooralai, adity, singing tooralai, ooralai, eh, singing tooralai, ooralai, adity, and we're bound for Botany Bay. Tain't leaving old England we cares about, tain't 'cause we misspells what we knows, but because all we like fingered gentry hops around with a log on our toes, singing tooralai, ooralai, adity, singing tooralai, ooralai, eh, singing tooralai, ooralai, adity, and we're bound for Botany Bay. These 7 long years I've been serving now, and 7 long more have to stay, all for bashing a bloke down our alley and taking his ticker away, singing tooralai, ooralai, adity, singing tooralai, ooralai, eh, singing tooralai, ooralai, adity, we're bound for Botany Bay. Oh, had I the wings of a turtle dove, I'd soar on my pinion so high, slap bang to the arms of my Polly love, and in her sweet presence I'd die, singing tooralai, ooralai, adity, singing tooralai, ooralai, eh, singing tooralai, ooralai, adity, we're bound for Botany Bay. Now all my young dukies and duchesses, take warning from what I've to say, mind all as your own as your touchesses, or you'll find us in Botany Bay, singing tooralai, ooralai, adity, singing tooralai, ooralai, eh, singing tooralai, ooralai, adity, we're bound for Botany Bay.
At the development of Australian traditional music, we've been to Ireland, we've been to Scotland, we've been to England. Of course, another group of people who were very commonly coming to Australia in the early years of white settlement, especially here in South Australia and in other places where they liked finding rocks to dig up out of the ground, Cornish. And if you go up to Moonta, Kadina and Wallaroo in around April, you usually still find them. I believe April this year, it's every second year they have the Pernua Eklawenda festival. You'll find them doing something called a ferry dance, which is basically a big street dance party. And there's a traditional tune that was traditionally it was played in Cornwall, but it secretly each person only learnt their part in secret, and it was jealously guarded exactly what each person's bit of music was for the brass band that played it. I don't know how secret it can be because it's extremely catchy and gets stuck in your head. And Terry Wogan turned it into a song. So here is Terry Wogan singing The Floral Dance.
I thought I could hear the curious tone of the cornet, clarinet, and big trombone fiddle, cello, big bass drum, bassoon, a flute, and euphonium. Each one making the most of his chance, all together in the floral dance. As I walked home on a summer night, the stars in heaven were shining bright. Far away from the footlights' glare, into the sweet and scented air of a quaint old Cornish town. Borne from afar on a gentle breeze, joining the murmur of summer seas, distant tones of an old world dance, played by the village band. Perchance on the calm air came floating down. I thought I could hear the curious tone of the cornet, clarinet and big trombone, fiddle, cello, big bass drum, bassoon, flute and euphonium. Each one making the most of his chance, all together in the floral dance. All together in the floral dance. And soon I saw such a bustling and prancing. Then I saw the whole village dancing. In and out of the houses they came, old folk, young folk, all the same, in that quaint old Cornish town. Every boy took a girl round the waist and hurried her off in tremendous haste. Whether they knew one another I care not, whether they cared at all I know not, but they kissed as they danced along. And there was the band with the curious tone of the cornet, clarinet and big trombone, fiddle, cello, big bass drum, bassoon, flute and euphonium. Each one making the most of his chance, all together in the floral dance. All together in the floral dance. Dancing here, prancing there, jigging, jogging everywhere, up and down and around the town. Hurrah for the Cornish floral dance!
Of course, not all white settlers in early Australia came from the British Isles, and especially those who came to dig rocks out of the ground, as I mentioned the Cornish doing. A lot of them came from America, because of course the California gold rushes were a decade or so before the gold rushes in Australia, so it timed very nicely just as the gold rushes in America were ending for all those miners to head out to Australia. So, I don't know if this was an actual in-period connection, or whether it's something that the bushwhackers picked up later, because of course there is still cross-pollination of traditional musics going on around the world. But a few weeks ago, and I say a few weeks, it was before Christmas when I was talking about fiddles, we heard the Orange Blossom Special played by a bluegrass band. So here is the Bushwhackers playing the Indian Pacific, which I love as a song, combined with the Orange Blossom Special fiddle tune. And that will bring us to the end of today's program, so I'll say my goodbyes now. This has been Rachel Hay, bringing you the Tune Tapestry here at 5EB.I, the Australia Day special, looking at Australian traditional music and its connection to the parent musical cultures that spawned it. We'll be back to bagpipes next week, and that will be the end of the summer. Well, almost the end of the summer, but this Tune Tapestry was only for this summer, so next week will almost certainly be the last week of the Tune Tapestry. But thank you for joining me over this summer. It's been a lot of fun, and I hope you'll enjoy whatever program replaces the Tune Tapestry. So, bye for now, and I'll see you all next week.